Hello beloved souls, thank you for tuning into the Spiritual Podcasts channel. This channel is all about good vibes, positive energy, and meaningful conversations. To keep this space welcoming for everyone, we kindly ask that comments stay respectful, kind, and in the spirit of the content shared here. We reserve the right to delete any comments that don't align with this intention. No hard feelings, just protecting the vibe. Thanks for being here and spreading the light. Please be cautious of anyone claiming to represent Spiritual Podcast and asking you for money, donations, or personal information. We will never ask you for money through comments, messages, or DMs. All official updates and content come only from this channel. If you see suspicious activity, please report it immediately. Stay safe and thank you for being part of our community. If you enjoy the video and its content, please like, subscribe, share, and comment. Please be kind to other viewers of the channel. The video is about to start.
Welcome, curious minds, to the deep dive. Today we're embarking on, an extraordinary journey. We're diving into our inner world.
Yeah, and we're drawing on some really profound, often paradigm-shifting insights from a lecture by Maíse Braga.
Exactly, given at the Comunhão Espírita de Brasília. And our mission really is to unpack these revolutionary ideas.
Ideas about our true nature, the continuity of life way beyond the physical.
And that deep connection, the one between what's going on inside us and, the reality we experience outside.
All through the lens of Spiritism, specifically looking at the works channeled by André Luiz. It's fascinating stuff.
It really is. And Maíse Braga kicked off her lecture with such a moving thought. She talked about gratitude for finding peace within.
Learning to live by donating love, vibrating light, and really understanding the value of this mission she felt she was on.
It's just a beautiful way to start, setting the stage for what we're exploring. So let me ask you this. Have you ever stopped and really wondered, is there more? More to life, maybe more to patterns in your health or even, death itself.
More than what we usually perceive day to day.
Exactly. More than just the material world suggests. If you've ever felt that little nudge, that feeling there's something bitter.
Then this deep dive should really hit home. We're aiming for those aha moments.
Not just telling you, but showing how these ideas unfold.
And what's really compelling about Maíse Braga's work and what we'll dig into is that it's not just about collecting spiritual facts.
Right. It's more active than that.
Totally. It's a call to challenge some really deep assumptions we have about ourselves, our purpose, what existence even is.
Her lecture really feels like a catalyst, doesn't it?
It does. For self-transformation, for inner change. It pushes us to look inward for the keys,
The keys to understanding and maybe even reshaping our reality.
It's a perspective shift that's not just empowering, it feels foundational for growth. # the deep dive.
Okay, so let's unpack this first big idea Maíse Braga hits on right away. The idea that our physical body,
though marvelous, as she says.
Right, though marvelous, and life on Earth, which can be great in many occasions.
But she does add, not all occasions, which is honest.
Very true. But that all of this physical life is just a moment in our eternal trajectory.
Just a blip, really.
She mentions this was a vital reminder back in the 1940s when André Luiz's work first appeared. But it feels just as relevant now, maybe more so.
Absolutely. I mean, what does that actually mean for our daily lives, our goals, our fears, if this body is just temporary?
How does it change things?
That's the core question, isn't it? And if we connect this to the bigger picture, it was absolutely revolutionary back then.
When André Luiz's work first came out.
Exactly. And honestly, it's still pretty radical for a lot of people today. For centuries, Western thought was so focused
on just this one life.
Right. The single earthly life was everything. The whole deal ending in some final judgment.
So to suggest the body is just a vessel.
A temporary tool, yeah.
Yeah.
A fleeting experience in this much grander eternal journey that completely flips our understanding of who we are.
Our identity isn't just this body.
No. Our true self, our consciousness, our essence, it's not confined here. It's not limited by this lifespan.
That feels liberating, actually.
It can be. It frees us from maybe some of that anxiety tied to material things or how we look or even the fear of death.
It reframes things like suffering isn't the end point.
Exactly. It's part of a learning curve, a much larger one where eternal beings going through experiences, learning lessons.
Okay, but here's where it gets, like you said, really interesting. Because this wasn't an easy idea for everyone to just accept.
Not at all.
Maíse introduces André Luiz, the spirit author, and his first book, Nosso Lar, Our Home, which came out in 1941. It was psychographed through Chico Xavier. Can you just quickly explain what psychographed means here?
Sure. Simply put, in Spiritism, it means the book wasn't written in the usual way. It was channeled.
So Chico Xavier, the medium, wrote down what André Luiz, the spirit, was communicating.
Exactly. Direct transmission from the spirit world through the medium's hand.
Got it. And Maíse describes a horrible reaction to no solar, even from spiritists. You'd think they'd be open to it.
You would, wouldn't you?
Why did detailed accounts of the soul's journey, life after death, cause such distress? Why call it a lie?
Well, it goes back to those ingrained ideas. Even though spiritists believed in life after death, that prevailing illusion.
The simple heaven, purgatory, or hell model.
Exactly. Mostly inherited from centuries of Catholic teaching, that was still very much baked into the thinking. Even in early spiritist circles, people were comfortable with those kind of general ideas.
And André Luiz came along with specifics.
Detailed specifics. Descriptions of a complex spiritual world, a vibrant city, no solar, where souls kept working, learning, facing consequences.
Not just instantly judged and sent off somewhere static.
Right. No immediate absolution, no static heaven. That shattered those simpler narratives. The idea that life just continued with all its issues.
That there wasn't some catalytic ray at death fixing everything.
Yeah, that was jarring. Maíse points out this change in mentality caused real suffering for the medium, Chico Xavier.
He faced disbelief.
Oh yes. Accusations of making it up, even from within his own community. It just shows how hard it is to introduce new spiritual truths, especially when they challenge long-held beliefs. People often prefer the known, even if it's simpler.
So this really turns the traditional view of death on its head. It's not this final cleanup crew coming through.
Definitely not.
André Luiz's own surprise, as Maíse described it, was realizing death is simply the continuity of our issues we just carry with us.
Into true life, as he called it.
No magic wand, no arriving with that little face of having done nothing wrong, as Maíse puts it. I love that phrase.
It's vivid, isn't it? And what's so fascinating, so central here, is the emphasis on personal accountability.
You can't escape yourself, basically.
Right. Exactly. Death doesn't erase your inner state, your character, your unresolved stuff. It just reveals it more clearly, without the physical filter.
That image of arriving with the little innocent face really captures how we sometimes hope things will just be wiped clean.
We do.
Yeah.
But André Luiz's experience shows our inner world, our good points, our flaws, our progress, our baggage. That's what shapes our experience over there.
Which I imagine could feel daunting for some people. Eternal accountability.
It could, but Spiritism frames it less as punishment and more as a continuous chance to grow, to heal, to rebalance. It's like a compassionate cosmic justice system with endless opportunities.
So understanding this now, how does that help us?
Well, the immediate benefit is huge. It encourages conscious living right now. Why wait? Address your inner conflicts, work on yourself, resolve things now.
Because that inner work directly shapes our experience here and hereafter.
Precisely. It's a powerful call to live with intention.
Which leads perfectly to Maíse's really profound question. Are we strange tenants in the house we inhabit?
That's a great question.
Is our heart, our soul, so separate from our body? Or is the body actually the real reflection of everything we have either overcome or not yet managed to overcome?
Like a mirror.
Yeah, our physical form as a mirror to our soul's journey.
And that raises such an important point for all of us, doesn't it? What could our physical health, maybe recurring ailments, or even just our general circumstances, what could they be telling us?
About our inner world.
Yeah, about unresolved struggles, or maybe even triumphs we haven't fully acknowledged. If the body reflects the soul's landscape.
Then maybe chronic issues point to deeper imbalances. Emotional, mental.
Spiritual, yeah.
Yeah.
Constant anxiety might show up as stomach problems, perhaps. Or maybe unresolved anger contributes to heart issues from this perspective.
It demands a really holistic view. Healing isn't just fixing symptoms.
It's about understanding and transforming the internal causes, connecting our choices, thoughts, emotions, our very character to our physical experience, and maybe vice versa too. It's reciprocal.
Okay, so if you were hoping the afterlife was just, smooth sailing after realizing life continues, maybe not so simple.
Right. Maíse Braga makes that pretty clear.
She says even in the spiritual world, the spiritual body also challenges us. Things can still be complicated.
We're confronted with our past, apparently, our previous lives.
And understanding that makes us realize we need new existences. We need to come back to Earth.
To resolve a lot of things left to solve. It's an ongoing process.
Not just individual growth, but this continuous cycle of learning, fixing things, evolving.
And if you connect that to the bigger picture, it gives this really compassionate, logical reason for why we keep coming back.
Reincarnation isn't random or just punishment.
Not in that punitive sense, no. It's presented as this carefully planned opportunity for growth, for resolution.
Explains why we might face the same kinds of challenges again and again.
Could be. Relationships, work, health patterns, maybe even feeling drawn to certain places or people, or struggling with specific personality traits.
They're not arbitrary. They're the lessons we're still working on.
The things left to solve from before. Each life is a chance to refine ourselves, correct mistakes, develop talents, expand our love.
It turns difficulties into lessons, gives them purpose.
Exactly. Inspires perseverance, maybe?
And this knowledge, this idea of having many lives, brings with it an enormous responsibility, as Maíse puts it.
Yeah, it's not the simpler idea of just one life where you might think,
Might as well live it up, do whatever, then say sorry at the end.
right. Maíse contrasts it with that. If you think, my God, we take advantage of it, do all the silly things, and then surrender to God, but with multiple lives.
Every action echoes. Consequences stretch beyond this one life.
It's a weight, yeah, but also this incredible chance for mastery over ourselves.
And Maíse really hammers home that point. Each existence is a consequence of what we left undone.
It reframes everything. Every choice, every interaction, every issue we ignore. It's all part of this bigger story we're writing.
Like a cosmic school. If you don't get the lesson now,
You'll likely encounter it again, maybe in a different way, until you do. Like if you struggled with generosity before.
maybe you face money issues this time, or situations where you have to give.
Could be. Or if you held on to resentment, maybe you keep meeting people who really test your forgiveness.
And the idea is we choose to come back to deal with this stuff.
That implies this deep, inherent drive towards getting it right, towards balance and perfection. Each life is a vital chapter.
A weighty responsibility, like you said, but also a chance to consciously shape our eternal path.
Precisely.
And it gets even more specific. Maíse talks about planning our incarnations. She says, when planning this little body, you promised everything because you wanted to come.
Like we signed up for this. Volunteers for our own lives, challenges included.
Yeah. Then she brings up something quite striking in observation about declining birth rates in Europe. A friend in France saying people don't even want one child.
And contrast that.
Sharply. With Chico Xavier's prediction that Brazil would become the country with the highest number of autistic people in the world. That's a very specific and potentially sensitive observation.
It is. And this is where Maíse, drawing from Spiritist ideas, offers a really interesting interpretation of these kinds of societal patterns.
Connecting them to spiritual dynamics.
Yes. She talks about Brazil having this spiritual quality, this collective debt, linking it explicitly to historical things like the 300 years of slavery.
Okay, but need to be clear here. She's not saying individuals today are being punished for slavery, right?
No, absolutely not. It's crucial to understand that. It's not about personal blame for past lives they didn't live. It's more that from the spiritual perspective, she's
Certain places due to their history.
their collective actions and spiritual energy become like magnets, drawing souls who are seeking rescate, balancing, learning, contributing to healing those collective karmic echoes. So the declining birth rates in Europe, maybe souls choosing environments that better match their current lessons.
And the prediction about autism in Brazil.
From this view, it's not seen as just a societal issue, but as an influx of souls with diverse spiritual needs. Some highly evolved coming to teach, others with significant limitations needing immense love and care for their own rescape, their own rebalancing.
So it's all about growth and resolution within that specific context.
Exactly. Contributing to the nation's overall spiritual evolution, it gives this deep spiritual backdrop to demographics and social issues, shows reincarnation as this purposeful, almost strategic process for both individual and collective growth.
Okay, let's shift focus slightly and delve into something really profound from André Luiz, which Maíse highlights. All illness begins in spiritual disharmony and survives in our paraspirit.
That's a huge statement, really fundamental.
You mentioned the paraspirit before. Can you remind us what that is and how this disharmony actually turns into physical problems?
Right, the paraspirit, it's central here. Think of it as the spiritual body, or maybe an intermediary link.
Between the soul and the physical body.
Exactly, a kind of semi-material, energetic envelope or blueprint. It carries the imprints of everything, thoughts, emotions, virtues, vices. even after we leave the physical body.
Okay. So when André Luiz says illness starts in spiritual disharmony and survives in the perispirit,
He's saying the root cause isn't just biological, it's an energetic imbalance that starts in our inner state, spiritual, emotional. That imbalance gets stamped onto the perispirit.
and then manifests physically.
That's the idea. It offers this deeply holistic view. And Maíse takes it further, listing specific vices of the mind from André Luiz's book, Entre a Terra e o Céu.
What are they?
Pride, vanity, tyranny, egoism, laziness, and cruelty. These are framed as the internal culprits that actually sicken the body.
Making it hard to find a cure.
Yeah, making it complicated, as she puts it. For example, maybe chronic pride could manifest as issues with bones or joints, a lack of flexibility. Or deep egoism might affect circulation, constricting the flow.
So our emotional and spiritual state isn't just secondary, it's primary, the origin of disease.
That's the perspective. And Maíse suggests, fascinatingly, that if medicine became aware of this, diseases would disappear.
Because we'd look for the origin in our emotions, in what didn't work out internally.
Exactly. Healing would become this deep internal journey. Self-correction, compassion, transformation, leading to a much more fundamental, lasting well-being.
It's a powerful idea.
Yeah.
But it also means, as you said, challenging some common ways of thinking, even spiritual-sounding ones that might hold us back.
Right, like those anecdotes Maíse shares from the 70s.
Yeah, women in abusive relationships thinking, my husband is a cross I have to bear from another life.
Or clinging to that illusion, oh, he'll change when he marries me.
And Mises' response is so direct. Nobody changes anyone.
It cuts right through that victim mentality, doesn't it?
It does. How does that empower us then? To take responsibility instead of just passively accepting things.
It's critical. It challenges those easy simplifications. Maíse powerfully argues against just enduring abuse as some predetermined karma.
It's not about accepting suffering passively.
No. André Luiz's statement, if it doesn't start with us, nothing changes, is the key. It puts the power, the agency, back with the individual.
So while past lives might set up conditions,
Our present choices, our willingness to change inside, our self-respect, those are what matter most now. It's not blaming the victim, it's empowering them to break the cycle.
it's a call to self-awareness, setting boundaries.
And understanding that true rescape, that spiritual rebalancing, isn't passive suffering, it's active transformation. Our evolution is our job.
We can't expect others to do it for us or try to force change on them.
Exactly. Focus on your own growth.
And to really bring home the idea of consequences and self-confrontation after death, Mises talks about the valleys after the tomb.
From André Luiz's descriptions, yeah. Not exactly heavenly resorts.
No. She mentions they're places of purification, often for perverse souls who did bad things right up until death. The Valley of Suicides is one example. Sounds intense.
It does sound intense, and it links our inner world, our thoughts and actions directly to what we experience after death, tangibly, unavoidably.
Maíse uses that concept of the mind as a film, right?
Yeah, the anecdote of the bad wolf who denied eating grandma after he disincarnated.
But the film played anyway, from his own mind.
Exactly, showing the event, illustrating her point. After disincarnation, let's not lie, you can't.
Because our consciousness holds the full, unedited recording.
Everything. No hiding, no spin, no escaping the truth of what we did or thought, even stuff we suppressed.
So these valleys aren't external punishment.
Not from some angry god, no. They're more like natural consequences. Places in the spiritual world that resonate with the negative energy we accumulated through our actions.
So souls there are basically forced to watch their own film.
Confronting their choices, yeah. Experiencing the impact, understanding, purifying themselves before they can move on to more harmonious places.
So the Valley of Suicides would involve confronting the impact of that choice.
Likely experiencing the suffering caused, the opportunities lost, until ready for help and growth. It highlights the profound honesty and self-confrontation that happens over there, leading towards real internal redemption.
Okay, let's shift gears a bit and unpack this really fascinating concept. Our centers of force. Maíse explains this has roots in Hindu philosophy.
Right, often known as chakras.
She describes them as these vital connection points between our spiritual selves and our physical bodies. She even mentioned seeing a yogi with a purple aura around their head, that kind of visual.
It's a great image. These centers are crucial. They're energetic hubs, vortexes, integrating everything spiritual, emotional, mental, physical.
Not physical organs, but energy points.
Exactly. Regulating the flow of vital force, prana. Maíse details the 7 main ones.
Let's quickly go through them. The first one.
Coronary, or crown chakra. top of the head, the lotus of 1,000 petals. Links to higher mind, spirit, integrates all others. Cosmic connection, wisdom.
Okay, then the cerebral.
Third eye. Between the eyebrows. Maíse jokes it's almost not important because it's everything. Governs senses, speech, intellect, intuition, psychic abilities.
Well, okay. Number 3.
Laryngeal, the throat chakra. Voice, thyroid, communication, self-expression. She mentions it's often worked on before we incarnate.
Interesting. Next.
Cardiac, the heart chakra. Center of the chest, emotion, balance, empathy, compassion. The bridge between lower and higher centers.
Makes sense. What about the gastric?
Solar plexus, upper abdomen, oversees digestion, metabolism. Spiritually, it's about personal power, willpower, self-esteem.
Then the splenic.
Sacral chakra, lower abdomen. Brings vital resources, that feeling of flame or well-being. Linked to creativity, emotions, pleasure.
And finally, the genesic.
Root chakra, base of the spine. Responsible for form shaping, life stimuli, creation, grounding, safety, fundamental drive.
That's a really rich map of our energetic self.
It gives us a multidimensional view, yeah, beyond just the physical.
And here's where it gets really practical, maybe a bit alarming. Maíse says when even one of these centers gets unbalanced.
It can lead to real physical problems.
Right, in the organs connected to it. She mentioned the spleen, the pancreas, linking diabetes directly to its imbalance, even the intestines not working right. How does that imbalance happen?
Well, it really highlights that holistic approach again. True healing means addressing the energetic and emotional roots.
So sustained negative emotions could do it.
Seems likely from this perspective. Chronic anger might hit the gastric center, leading to digestive trouble. Deep grief could affect the cardiac center, maybe showing up as heart or lung issues.
Fear impacting the genesic or root center.
Could lead to reproductive issues, maybe lower back pain. And Maíse specifically linked the pancreas and diabetes to the gastric center imbalance, perhaps stemming from issues around control or lack of sweetness in life, unresolved emotional digestion.
It moves way beyond just seeing the body as a machine.
Totally. Our inner harmony is directly tied to physical well-being. And Maíse adds a practical point. These centers age, just like our organs.
So we need to account for that too.
Yeah. The dynamics of a 90-year-old's energy center will naturally be different from a 30-year-old's. It gives a more compassionate view of aging, linking it back to maintaining inner balance throughout life.
So true healing involves looking within, working on emotions, aligning thoughts.
To restore that energetic flow, that's the idea.
And that naturally leads us into discussing the difficulty of old age, which Maíse addresses with a lot of empathy.
Yeah, she talks about people struggling with declining health, wanting the energy they used to have.
It really highlights that need for tenderness, for understanding towards elderly family, something we maybe forget sometimes.
And connecting that to the bigger picture, it really underscores our collective responsibility, doesn't it? To support aging populations.
It's a growing societal challenge.
For sure. Maíse reminds us if we're lucky, we'll get there too. We might eventually give work, meaning we'll need care.
Thinking ahead encourages more empathy now.
Exactly. Recognizing the frustrations, the loss of independence, the physical discomfort when the body doesn't cooperate. It's a call for patience, compassion, better support systems.
Seeing the elderly not as burdens, but as individuals still on their journey, deserving dignity.
Regardless of physical limits.
Then Maíse shares this really interesting vision for future care. She predicts our grandchildren will surely buy or rent robots for elder care.
Wow!
Robots.
Yeah, she points to robot hotels in Japan as proof we're already living the future in the present.
It's happening already.
But beyond robots, she also stresses the growing need for professional caretakers, calls it a profession of the present and future.
Especially because of the conflict that can arise when family tries to do it all.
That makes sense. It raises big questions about what care means and who's best suited.
It really does. How will societies adapt to people living longer? Maíse's vision suggests technology will play a huge role, handling maybe the routine or physically hard tasks.
The robot hotel example isn't just quirky then.
No, it's a glimpse of a practical solution. But importantly, she also highlights the human element, the professional caretakers.
Technology has limits.
Exactly. The conflict in families points to the need for structured support. Family love is vital, but full-time physical care can be incredibly draining, straining relationships.
So professionals allow family bonds to remain, while experts handle the tougher stuff.
That seems to be the pragmatic, compassionate view. blending technology with human expertise and empathy. How do we create systems that honor the elderly and their caregivers?
And this whole discussion leads Maíse to ask that really deep question. Live so long for what?
Yeah, if your life isn't dedicated to balance and good,
It really makes you pause. It's about the quality, the purpose of those extra years, not just the number.
absolutely. With medicine extending lifespans, that question is critical. If we live longer but without inner balance, without striving for goodness, compassion, contributing positively,
What's the point? It might just prolong suffering or aimlessness.
or accumulate more imbalances. Her question is a real call to introspection, to consciously fill our lives with meaning, cultivate virtues, ensure our longevity serves a higher purpose.
For ourselves and others.
Spiritual evolution isn't passive, it's active. Pursued through conscious choices, dedication to growth, making sure our years are truly lived. With intention.
Let's circle back now to something André Luiz asserted, which Maíse emphasized it's incredibly powerful. Life is mental creation in our evolutionary path.
Such a core concept.
Everything that happens to us is born within our head and heart. That puts so much power and responsibility right back on us.
It really does. We're not just passive victims of fate.
What does it mean to really embrace that? That our mind is this potent creation engine?
The implications are just huge. The mind isn't just receiving reality, it's actively shaping it, the primary architect.
Maíse mentioned the mind uses thousands of forms on Earth until perfection.
Right, underscoring that continuous journey. Our inner world thoughts, emotions, beliefs, intentions directly impacts our outer reality and even future lives.
So if you constantly think about lack,
You're effectively creating and attracting more lack. But if you cultivate gratitude, abundance, compassion,
you lay the groundwork for those experiences.
that's the idea. Maíse even joked about planning for Saturn, illustrating that if everything is thought, we can mentally direct our path,
It's a call for conscious mental discipline.
recognizing our inner creative power, taking radical responsibility for our inner world, knowing thoughts aren't just fleeting things, they're forces shaping our destiny.
Maíse also shared some really personal takeaways from the pandemic
Yeah, she called it a test of solitude.
and admitted struggling with the idea that even good people who died were somehow programmed for it. That's a tough one to reconcile.
Very human. And she mentioned that she and her daughter were the only ones in her family who didn't get COVID.
How do experiences like that fit into this larger spiritual picture?
Well, it shows how collective events hit everyone, but the lessons are individual, right? Her struggle with the programming highlights that tension between divine planning or spiritual blueprints and our human sense of fairness or tragedy.
What looks tragic to us might be part of a soul's plan.
That's the difficult implication. But her own experience of not getting sick maybe points to her individual spiritual preparedness or her specific programming for that time.
So even in a global crisis, our path through it is unique.
Deeply individualized, yeah. Offering different opportunities for growth, understanding, resilience, maybe linked to our inner state or spiritual purpose. It suggests higher spiritual laws are navigating things carefully, even amidst chaos.
Now, you mentioned stories illustrated these ideas. The saga of Julio sounds particularly powerful for understanding reparation in the soul's journey.
It really is. It's from André Luiz's Entre a Terra e o Céu, and it vividly shows this concept of multiple lives and the soul's persistence.
So Julio had a past with 2 suicides, drowning and poison.
Yes. Then, in his first reincarnation back,
He drowned at age 8, due to a neglectful, jealous stepmother. And that rescued the drowning suicide, meaning it balanced that karma.
that's how Maíse explains it, yeah. And then he came back again, same family.
Born with a throat wound, died before age 2, rescuing the poisoned suicide.
Exactly. 2 short, difficult lives focused on rebalancing those specific past actions.
But then he returned a 3rd time. And this time,
This time, Maíse says, it was to be truly happy, to live long. He was apparently tranquil in the spirit world before this return.
so it's not about punishment, but about this relentless drive for balance, for well-being.
Precisely. Julio's story perfectly illustrates risque reparation, but with this deep emphasis on healing and growth, not just suffering. It's not about divine anger.
It's the soul striving for wholeness.
Yes. Maíse explains souls who have not yet fully recomposed completely keep returning until they achieve a full life, a life of real happiness, purpose, integrating the lessons.
It raises that question about the soul's persistence. the system isn't just about judgment.
No, it seems designed to offer endless chances to correct errors, develop virtues, triumph over limitations. Julio's journey shows that cosmic compassion. His final peaceful return signifies he'd done the inner work needed.
It's a story of hope, really. The spirit eventually overcoming its challenges.
Absolutely.
And to kind of wrap all this up, Maíse brings in Socrates. Man, know thyself.
Timeless wisdom.
She says it's the first sign that the more we knew ourselves, the less we would fall into traps. It feels incredibly relevant today.
It connects so directly to what Maíse calls the time of traps we live in now. All the information overload, distractions, pressures.
Social media, materialism, divisive thinking.
Exactly. Self-knowledge becomes your shield, your inner compass. It helps you develop discernment to avoid what she calls crazy spiritual influence.
Which isn't always obvious demons, right? It could be subtle.
Yeah, negative thought patterns, toxic relationships, choices that just aren't aligned with your true self, your higher purpose.
So if you know yourself, your values, your path,
you're less likely to be swayed by external noise, superficial stuff, or negative energies, whether from spirits or just the collective vibe.
it builds inner strength, resilience against life's traps.
The ultimate self-defense, really.
Okay, let's talk about relationships for a minute. Maíse has some pretty sharp, honest observations here.
Yeah, she doesn't pull punches.
She talks about people ignoring a series of problems, seeing blue eyes when they're really black, believing they can solve the other's life.
Oh, that's so common. Romanticizing, projecting.
Often leads to trouble down the line.
Absolutely. And her points really underscore why self-awareness and honesty are so crucial, not just in choosing partners, but in all relationships.
That's self-deception when we idealize someone.
Or go in with that savior complex, thinking our love will fix them. Her advice, be smarter girls, and men too. It's a call for clear vision.
Look past the surface, see the red flags.
And accept you're only responsible for your own journey. You can't change someone else.
And her other key piece of advice, never do anything others want that you don't want.
Because later there will be no one to complain to. That hits hard. It's about total personal responsibility.
Honoring your own boundaries, your values, your gut feelings.
Yeah. Ignoring your inner voice, compromising yourself for someone else, or just because you're afraid of being alone. It always backfires, leads to resentment.
It's practical, but also deeply spiritual advice about authenticity.
Healthy relationships need mutual respect, aligned purpose, not illusions or fixer-upper projects.
Maíse's also shared a couple of great little stories about generations in technology.
Oh yeah, the Verissimo one was funny.
His 9-year-old granddaughter fixing his computer instantly, calling him foolish, illustrating Maíse's idea that younger generations might come in chipped.
Having studied more in the spiritual world, born with innate understanding of modern stuff.
And the other story, the 94-year-old grandmother.
Felt frustrated by technology, but then found realization learning to use online banking.
And then passed away peacefully a month later. What's the takeaway there?
What's fascinating is this idea that actively engaging with new knowledge, learning no matter your age, can fulfill a real purpose, maybe even one planned before incarnating.
So the grandmother overcoming that limitation.
Engaging her mind, connecting with the modern world, it brought her this deep sense of completion, fulfilled a final piece of her journey before she was ready to move on.
So readiness isn't just about physical decline.
Seems not. It's about completing inner and outer tasks, even seemingly small ones like online banking. And the chipped kids, they're like a new wave, attuned to the tools and challenges of now.
Pre-programmed for the tech age, in a way.
Yeah. Both stories show learning, adapting, finding purpose are continuous personal parts of our evolution. Even small acts of learning can have deep spiritual meaning.
Okay, to wrap up this section, Maíse offered 2 quotes that really stick. Powerful stuff.
Which ones?
Emmanuel's advice to Chico Xavier. To live on Earth, you need rhinoceros skin.
Wow. Okay.
And Raul Teixeira saying, Spiritist doctrine is not for those who want it, it's for those who can take it.
Oof. That's intense, too. Not for the faint of heart.
It definitely suggests this path requires serious inner strength.
It really poses that question about resilience, doesn't it?
Yeah.
The inner fortitude needed for spiritual growth in this often tough world.
Rhinoceros skin. What a metaphor.
For emotional toughness, yeah.
Yeah.
Being impervious to negativity, criticism, suffering, so you can stay on track. Protecting your inner peace.
Not becoming insensitive, but strong.
Exactly. And Teixeira's quote emphasizes that embracing Spiritism, with its truths about accountability, reincarnation, self-transformation, it demands courage, maturity.
It's not a casual belief system.
No, it's a demanding path, facing uncomfortable truths about yourself and the world, But ultimately, it connects back to actively seeking happiness, making others happy.
Recognizing we are the past in the present. Our history shapes our capacity now.
Our capacity to endure, grow, contribute. It's a call to become spiritually tough, really. #tag outro.
Wow. So we have taken a truly transformative deep dive today, exploring our inner world through Maíse Braga's incredible lecture.
We really covered a lot of ground.
Understanding our inner world as the blueprint for reality. Seeing life as this continuous journey of growth. Knowing these things really empowers us.
To navigate challenges, to shape our destiny. It's like getting a roadmap for a more conscious life.
Absolutely. And we kept coming back to Socrates, man, know thyself.
Such a vital tool for avoiding those traps in life.
And Maíse's core teaching that illness and challenges often start from spiritual disharmony.
It really underscores the power we have for self-transformation. The journey always begins inside, demands our courage, our effort.
Maíse said, every day we can change our destiny. Now, building on that and knowing everything might be our choice before we even get here, and our mind is this creation engine. Think about this.
What incredible, joyful, purposeful destinies could you, listening right now, actively start co-creating? Not just for yourself, but for everyone.
What small internal shift, maybe the thought pattern you change, an emotion you embrace differently, an old habit you release? What shift could you make today to start consciously changing your destiny?
Echoing that beautiful starting idea of donating love and vibrating light.
Thank you so much for joining us on this deep dive into our inner world. We really hope you'll reflect on your own life through this bigger lens and keep exploring.
Keep discovering. Remember, the tools for self-improvement, for real happiness, they're always within you, waiting for you to pick them up and use them.
Until next time, keep exploring, keep growing, and keep transforming. We're so grateful for your time and insights today.
Thanks for listening.
Thank you so much for tuning in. I appreciate your time, and I look forward to sharing more with you soon. Until next time, take care and have a wonderful and blessed day.